This video is to help you understand your schedule. Please watch it in its entirety before you consider requesting a change, as you may find that there's no reason to request a change. If there is a mistake, for example, you're missing an ROTC class, please make sure you know the only way to request the change. You are going to have this form that I'm now going to explain to you. We are planning to put this form on the back of your schedule when you pick it up at orientation. But we are hoping that this video will help you understand better. The classes that you should have on your schedule include English, Science, and Math, and all Summerlin students take a JROTC class. And it's by level. First year, Let 1, second year, Let 2, and so forth. So 9th grade are in English 1, 10th grade are in English 2, and so forth. For Science, typically you start at Environmental Science unless you have a very high Math FSA score, and then you might start at Biology. Math placement is based on your FSA Math or your FSA Algebra 1 EOC. Most of our students take World History in 9th grade. Some high-performing students have taken it in 8th grade, the high school World History. Some of them have the opportunity to take AP World History or AP Human Geography, which is at a college level and has an opportunity to earn a college credit. All students will have an English and a Math every year. 3 sciences are required, so if you're a senior and not in science, that means that you have already completed all 3 sciences. So just make sure that you know you have completed all 3 sciences. All students are in ROTC. On your schedule, the course will say AR/ED, LEAD 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on your year JROTC class. Summerlin Academy requires 2 years of foreign language to receive the honorary Summerlin diploma. If you had Spanish 1 and it was the high school Spanish 1 in middle school, you may take Spanish 2. Otherwise, your choices are the languages that we offer on our campus. If you have not passed the reading, we often will wait and start your language when you do pass the reading, or in 11th grade if you haven't passed yet and you plan to go to college and you need 2 years of reading. Make sure you understand what class you're scheduled in. Sometimes classes are called something different than what you think they may be called. So you're going to have on that list all the courses and what they mean. Now, the schedule correction requests will be submitted only electronically, the same exact way that the student did the request for the electives. In keeping with growing young men and women who are leaders and self-advocates, the student will be getting the link on their Remind to submit any corrections. So parents, please be involved, but the student is in charge of submitting the request for a correction. As mentioned in the meetings each year, we ask that you do not email, text on Remind, or call about any scheduled change request. This will make it impossible to get a call back, a text back, or an email back. The only way that this will be considered is if the student submits the form so that we have it all on one spreadsheet. It's the only way that we can stay efficient, and it will be the only way that we consider your request. Students were placed in the electives that they requested. We tried as much as possible to give you number 1 request. If not, you got your number 2 request. Let me explain what your classes will be called. Let's start with Kendo. Kendo is called Individual Sports 2 and Individual Sports 3 and its first period. Archery is called Team Sports 1 and Team Sports 2. Scuba is only for seniors and it is called Comp Fitness. There are 2 different teachers for digital design. One is for photography or Photoshop and the other is for Microsoft. So you have the digital design class that correlates with either photography or Microsoft. Some of you are on sports teams or you're cheerleaders. Lacrosse, cheer, football, girls softball, basketball, baseball. These are all going to be called sports officiating and outdoor ed. And that is by teacher request. So your coaches let us know who was on the team, and that's who is in those classes. MC, Lead Ed are specialty classes at Summerlin taught by the JROTC instructors. So you ask for rifle or raiders or drill or colored guard, then you will be in an MC lead ed class and you're lined up with the correct teacher. So if you ask for rifle, you're going to have the rifle coach. If you ask for raiders, you're going to have one of the raiders coaches. Our district is very strict about remediation. Our goal is to make sure that you're successfully graduated in 4 years. The reading requirement is that you pass a test showing that you're proficient in reading in order to graduate. Therefore, if you have tests indicating that you're not proficient, you will be in intensive reading until you get the score on the test that you need to graduate. The reading test, as well as your other test scores and your grades, determine whether you get regular or honors. We have a progression from the district that we followed very closely to make sure that we placed you correctly. Again, Summerlin students are required to take 2 years of the same foreign language. This is the same requirement for the Bright Future scholarships and for NCAA, so we do try to honor that for students, unless you're having a difficult time passing the reading test, and then we typically will have you wait until you pass that test to start your language if at all possible. All sports teams like lacrosse, basketball, again, these are only by teacher recommendation, so if you're not on the team, you're not in the class. Hopefully this doesn't apply to many of you, but if you're a senior and you had yet to take your online class, you are going to be placed in temporary instruction, which is a computer lab monitored by a teacher. Additionally, if you did fail a class and you did not attend summer school and you need to retake a class where you made an F, you will be placed in this class to do grade recovery. We have worked tirelessly to try to honor your request, at the same time setting you up for success in your academic classes. You all received the list of all the classes that were available for Summerlin. Passing the Algebra 1 EOC is a requirement. There are some 9th graders that may wonder why they are in Algebra 1 again. When you didn't pass the FSA for Algebra 1 EOC, and you did pass Algebra 1 the class, but you passed it with a C, I put you back in Algebra 1 and let me explain. If I do not and move you on to geometry, I have to give you an additional class to remediate you for the Algebra 1 EOC. Therefore, to conserve your classes and allow you to have an extra elective, we have you retaking Algebra 1 because the only time that you can retake a C for high school is if you earned that C in middle school. So this allowed you to be in one class for math rather than 2. Any student who has not passed the Algebra 1 FSA after taking Algebra 1 must be placed in a class called Foundational Skills, and this is so that when you take the FSA Algebra 1 test the next time, which you will be taking it again, you are going to be prepared for it by this class. Putting all the pieces together to make schedules work efficiently is harder than it looks. We cannot honor any request for a schedule change for the following reasons. I didn't submit my elective request form, but now I want to tell you the class I want. I want to be in a class with my friends. I'd like a different teacher. Or I've changed my mind, I don't want to be in this class anymore. Or I would like this class at a different time. Our priority at Summerlin Academy is your success. That is defined by meeting your graduation requirements in 4 years. Secondary to that, we want this to be the most rewarding experience possible. Thank you for watching.